Hello, fourth graders. This week, we will wrap up science with our final unit, which is life sciences. We will be learning about diseases, both communicable and non-communicable. We will learn about germs, and we will learn about healthy habits. So we're going to start today with diseases, communicable and non-communicable. As always, have your science notebook and a pencil handy. Also, I have attached PDFs of the brochures that I will go through if you wish to have your own copy. I will skip through some of these slides since some of them are for in-person. But today we are going to learn about communicable and non-communicable diseases. Communicable diseases are illnesses that people and animals can spread to other people. Non-communicable diseases are not spread from person to person. To learn more, we will be reading a passage and completing a task before, during, and after our reading. So I'm not sure if that blanked out on you. It did on me, so I apologize if it did. So the objectives are learning targets for the first part of our lesson here is I can explain the difference between communicable and non-communicable diseases. I can give examples of communicable and non-communicable diseases. And I can identify general causes of disease and methods of prevention. So this is what that brochure looks like that I have attached to your assignment. Let's see if I can get this a bit bigger for us here. So before reading, there's a true or false that we will look at to see what we think we already know. Just going to see if I could zoom in. So true or false, answer this to yourself. I have never had a disease. True or false, it is important to wash my hands. Well, I think we all know the importance of that this year especially. True or false, cancer is contagious. True or false, all diseases are caused by germs. All right, so I want you to think of some things that you already know about diseases. Okay, so I am going to zoom in on this brochure because it is very small. So I'm going to have to stop presenting and then just zoom in on my own. All right, so I'm going to pull this over a little here. It's 7:30 in the morning and Jack's alarm is telling him that it is time to get up and ready for school. Jack groans, reaches over and pushes the snooze button. He feels awful. His nose is running, his throat hurts, and he was coughing all night. Unfortunately for Jack, he is showing symptoms of a disease. Ooh, did you know that that is a disease? Well, a disease is an illness that impairs or prevents the body from working normally. A person who has a disease usually shows symptoms or signs of the disease, such as coughing or fever. Some diseases have symptoms that are not as easily recognizable and require medical professionals and tests to determine. There are some diseases that are quite common, and chances are you have had one. Illnesses such as the common cold, influenza, otherwise known as the flu, and chickenpox happen frequently, and most people will contract one of these diseases at least once in their lifetime. Why do these diseases occur so often? These illnesses are examples of communicable diseases. Communicable diseases are caused by germs and can be transferred from person to person or animal to person. This means that a person who is sick can spread the germs to others. These germs can be spread through the air by coughing or sneezing. They can also be transmitted by direct contact with an infected person's body fluids or fecal matter. Ew. Now that you know how communicable diseases are spread, it is important that you know how to protect yourself from becoming infected. Also, if you are suffering from symptoms of an illness, you should do what you can to prevent spreading germs to others. Luckily, there are things you can do to lower your risk of becoming ill from a communicable disease. Washing your hands often, there it is. Like I said, 2020 and 2021, we sure know that, don't we? Avoiding contact with people who are showing symptoms such as coughing or sneezing, and making sure you are not sharing water bottles, food, or personal items with others are a few ways to lower your risk. There are also vaccines, such as the flu shot, that help your body be less susceptible or vulnerable to certain germs. If you yourself are sick, do your best to not spread the illness. In addition to healthy habits listed above, you should stay home and away from the public if you are showing symptoms of an illness. Not all diseases are contagious. Diseases that aren't spread from person to person are called non-communicable diseases. Examples of non-communicable diseases, meaning you can't catch it from someone, are diabetes, cancer, and Alzheimer's. These types of diseases are often caused by genetics and lifestyle. Many non-communicable diseases are preventable through healthy lifestyle choices such as proper nutrition, avoidance of tobacco and alcohol, maintaining a healthy weight, and being active. This is one of the reasons it is important to live a healthy lifestyle and take care of yourself. Diseases are a fact of life, but with a little awareness and healthy habits, you can reduce your risk. Okay, so here are some of the questions here. What is the difference between communicable and non-communicable diseases? Well, hopefully you know by now that communicable ones are ones that you can catch. They're contagious. Non-communicable diseases are ones that are not contagious. Some examples of communicable diseases are the common cold, flu, chickenpox. Examples of non-communicable diseases would be diabetes, cancer. Name 3 things you can do to prevent yourself from getting a disease. Well, one is to eat a healthy, nutritious diet. One is maintaining a healthy weight. And another one is being active. All right, so that is communicable and non-communicable diseases. The next lesson is on germs. Now remember, you can always pause the video and come back to it another time. And I will add some other videos to this too for you to watch. But germs are our next topic. Oh, here's a review just from yesterday. If you want, no, that's true or false, so we won't worry about that. All right, so today's learning targets are: I can explain what a pathogen is. I can explain the difference between a bacteria and a virus. I can explain how pathogens enter the body. I can explain how my immune system protects me from a disease. And I can list 3 healthy habits for preventing disease. All right. So here we have our germs brochure, which is also attached. Some of the words that we will know are microbe, pathogen, organism, host, and immune system. Here, let's test your knowledge here. True or false? All germs cause disease. True or false? You can't see germs with your eyes. True or false? Bacteria live on our bodies. And true or false? Germs get into our bodies through our skin. So by the end of this reading today, you will be able to answer those correctly. So this is your brochure. Once again, I'm going to stop presenting and I'm going to zoom way in so we can better see the brochure. Don't forget to wash your hands before you eat your snack, Mrs. Burns reminded the class as they came in from the playground. As the students headed to the sink, Anne looked down at her hands. They looked clean to her. Why did she need to wash them? What Anne doesn't know is that germs are all around us, and so tiny we can't see them with our eyes. Germs are microbes, which means they can only be seen under a microscope. Just because you can't see them doesn't mean they aren't there, and if they are there, they can make you sick. Germs are also called pathogens. There are 4 major types of pathogens: bacteria, viruses, fungi, and protozoa. Most of the time when talking about these disease-causing germs, we are referring to bacteria and viruses. Bacteria are living single-celled organisms that come in many shapes and sizes. The largest bacteria are only about 1/millionth of a meter in size. That is tiny. We know what a meter looks like, right? Well, a millimeter is 1,000th of a meter. So a millionth, that's tiny. Bacteria can survive inside and outside of the body and rapidly multiply. Millions of bacteria live on and in our bodies, and most of them don't cause any harm. They actually help our bodies function properly. These bacteria are sometimes called healthy bacteria. It is the harmful bacteria that cause illness, such as food poisoning, strep throat, and other bacterial infections. As these bacteria multiply, they crowd out the good bacteria and release toxins into the body. Viruses are many times smaller than bacteria. They can be found outside the body, but it isn't until they get inside a host that they grow and begin to multiply on their own. Viruses make us sick by attacking, damaging, and taking over human cells. Chickenpox, flu, and AIDS are all caused by viruses. This may sound a little scary, but it doesn't have to be if you understand how bacteria and viruses enter our body and what our body does to defend against disease. Infection usually occurs when pathogens enter our bodies through our mouth, eyes, nose, and breaks in our skin. Our body's first line of defense is our skin. It is a strong barrier to keeping out unwanted guests. Other first-line defense includes saliva, that's your spit, nasal hairs, and mucus. Once a bacteria or a virus enters our body, the second line of defense, our immune system, takes over. White blood cells recognize unwanted intruders and produce antibodies, a substance created to fight disease, to attack and destroy pathogens. Another of our defense mechanisms is fever. When germs enter your body and start making you sick, part of your brain turns up the heat. This makes your body a less ideal place for the pathogen to live and multiply. So a fever, boys and girls, is just your brain heating up your body to try and heat up that virus to get rid of it. As you can see, your body is great at protecting you from germs that make you sick. You can help your immune system by keeping pathogens out of your body in the first place. Make sure to wash your hands frequently and use hand sanitizer. Keep your hands away from your eyes, mouth, and nose. If you have a cut, sore, or other wound, keep it covered with a bandage. These healthy habits, along with eating nutritious foods, getting exercise, and plenty of sleep, are all important to stay disease-free. All right, so here are our ending questions. What is a pathogen? Well, a pathogen is a germ. It says it right here in this paragraph. And there are 4 types of germs or pathogens: bacteria, viruses, fungi, which is fungus, and protozoa. How do pathogens enter our body? Well, they can enter through openings, like a cut in your skin, or through your mouth or your eyes or your nose. Name 3 ways our immune system helps protect us from and fight pathogens. Well, one way is a fever. If you remember, our body heats up to try and kill the virus. White blood cells recognize unwanted intruders and produce antibodies, which is a substance created to fight disease. Okay, I just wanted to show you some examples of microscopic bacteria. So again, microscopic, so small you cannot see them just with your eye. You'd have to use a microscope. So a lot of them look very similar, but some of them look like they're out of a science fiction, like monster movie. And some are pretty colorful here. These ones are kind of spiky. Oh, and then we should have another one here if I can get there. Oh, it's not letting me do it. Okay, let me just go to the next one then. And here is another one of microscopic germs. So the first one I showed you was bacteria, and these are germs. So some of them could be viruses. I believe this one is a virus. Looks like a space alien. Kind of crazy to see them up close. Okay, so I will be attaching some videos to this assignment, like the brain pop video on the immune system, viruses, and bacteria. All right, let's move on to lesson 3. Lesson 3 is healthy habits, which we've already been learning pretty much, and how to stay well. Learning objectives are: I can explain why it is important to practice healthy habits. I can explain or demonstrate how to best wash my hands in order to remove germs. I can explain or demonstrate the best way to cover a cough or a sneeze. And I can list the 8 healthy habits for staying well. And here's that brochure again. The true or false. So see if you know the answers to these. True or false, germs can live on door handles. Germs can't enter your body through your eyes. Sneezes can travel up to 200 feet. Yikes. And you should wash your hands for 10 seconds. Oh, we've been hearing about that. So we will read the brochure and see what the brochure says. Zoom in here. Germs are all around us, on our bodies, on surfaces like desks and doorknobs, and even in the air. Most of the time they are harmless, but germs are like little hitchhikers, and getting inside your body is their preferred destination. Once they are in your body, some germs, called pathogens, can make you very sick. In order to stay as healthy as possible and avoid catching a communicable disease, such as the common cold or flu, you should always practice these 8 healthy habits. All right, here we go. Healthy habit number 1, wash your hands a lot. Washing your hands is one of the best ways to keep from catching a communicable disease. You should wash your hands after you use the bathroom and after touching surfaces other people have touched, like playground equipment, computer keyboards, and doorknobs. You should also wash your hands after coughing or sneezing, and always wash your hands before you eat. The experts recommend washing your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. This is about how long it takes to sing the happy birthday song 2 times. Now, that's not my birthday song. That's not that long. It's the real birthday song 2 times. When washing your hands, you should scrub the backs of your hands, the fronts, between your fingers, and under your fingernails. After washing, rinse with clean water and then dry your hands with a paper towel. Use the paper towel to turn off the faucet. You don't want to touch a germ-infested surface with your germ-free hands, do you? All right, healthy habit number 2. Keep your surroundings sanitary. It's another word for clean. Because germs like to hang out on surfaces and wait for a ride, it is important to keep your workspace and surroundings clean. Disinfect doorknobs, desk or table surfaces, and other high-traffic surfaces such as keyboards, light switches, and staplers. Healthy habit number 3, don't touch your face. Do you often rub your eyes, rest your chin in your hands, pick at your skin, or put your hand over your mouth? I think we're all guilty of doing at least one of those. Our hands come into contact with millions of germs a day, and your eyes, nose, mouth, and ears are easy access points for those germs. That means they can easily get into our systems to make us sick. Healthy habit number 4, avoid contact with people showing symptoms. You might be sitting next to a classmate who is coughing, working with a partner who keeps sneezing, or have a sibling with a runny nose. Coughing, sneezing, and runny nose are symptoms of a contagious illness. To avoid the pathogens that might be lurking, avoid close contact and limit your exposure to people with symptoms. Healthy habit number 5, don't share personal items. Items such as lip balm, water bottles, and earbuds are vehicles for bacteria and viruses to pass from one person to another. Not sharing these personal items is another healthy habit to practice each and every day. All right, healthy habit number 6, cover open wounds. Your skin is body's first defense against communicable diseases. If you have an open sore, cut, or other break in the skin, it is important to keep it covered so that the germs do not enter through the abrasion. An abrasion is like a cut or a scrape. Break in the skin is really what it is. Healthy habit number 7, live a healthy lifestyle. In order to keep your immune system top-notch, live a healthy lifestyle. This includes getting plenty of sleep each night, eating nutritious foods daily, drinking water to stay hydrated, and staying active on a daily basis. Healthy habit number 8, cover your cough and sneeze. This last healthy habit is about making sure if you are sick, you don't spread your illness to the people around you. Some research shows that when you sneeze, the spray can travel up to 200 feet. Most experts agree that the best way to cover a sneeze or cough and keep those germs trapped is to cover your nose and mouth with a tissue. Throw away the tissue and immediately wash your hands. If you don't have a tissue handy, use your sleeve at the crook of your elbow. I like to call that your elbow pit, not your armpit, your elbow pit. This is called the vampire method, like you're swinging your cloak around. All right, so these answers are going to be yours. Why is it important to practice healthy habits? Which healthy habit do you think is most important and why? And which healthy habit do you need to improve? Set a goal for that healthy habit for the next week. All right, so 4th graders, we've learned about diseases, both communicable and non-communicable. We've learned about germs and how germs can get into our body and make us sick. And then we learned about healthy habits for staying well. There will be some videos attached that you will need to watch to go along with this. There'll be some brain pops and probably a Generation Genius with the quizzes as well.